The Westside Discs Tursas is a fantastic understable midrange from Westside Discs, and it could be the ticket to learning how to throw that reliable backhand in-hyzer shot. Let's take a look. So we'll start with feel. The rim on the Tursas is not very big at all. It's not very deep, so if you have trouble getting a clean release out of deep mid-ranges, you'll be fine with this, and it's not very wide either. It is a 5-speed mid-range, which is sort of in the slower class of mid-ranges for Westside. So it's not very big. If you have smaller hands, you're going to have a great time holding onto this. It's not going to be too big or feel cumbersome. As far as bead, it's definitely a beadless mid-range. It does have a little bit of a ridge there, but that's just the shape of the rim. It definitely doesn't feel like it has a bead at all. It also tends to be fairly domey. I have never seen a flat top Tursas. It tends to have a good bit of dome on it, and that gives it more glide, so it's easier to get distance without a ton of power, which is fantastic for a disc that's so easy to power up like the Tursas is. My Tursas here is in the Tournament plastic. This plastic is very grippy and fairly durable, and it tends to be a little bit less stable than the same disc in the VIP plastic. So for flight numbers, this disc has a speed of 5, a glide of 5, a turn of -3, and a fade of 1. And I would say that's fairly accurate. My favorite shot to throw with the Tursas is a little bit of a hyzer or maybe a flat release, nice and high, and let the disc naturally turn because it's very easy to get it to turn, and it'll hold to the right all the way into the ground. If I throw the disc on more hyzer, I can get that hyzer flip line out of my hand and either a dead straight finish, or if I throw it harder, it'll actually finish a little bit to the right, which is a fantastic replacement for those forehand shots if you don't have that reliable forehand in your bag. On an anhyzer release, I tried to throw the Tursas on a roller, but it just has a little bit too much glide, so it tends to try and stay in the air versus get to the ground for that roller flight. So if you're trying to learn how to throw a roller, maybe try something a little bit less glidey than a Tursas. But if you already know how to throw one, the Tursas will work fine for that shot. So what shots is the Tursas good for? My favorite shot, like I said, is a replacement for that straight and then right finishing shot in the woods. But it's also really good for big turnovers that you need not to fade out. So if you're trying to get around some sort of obstacle and finish to the right, and a forehand would have to cut it too close or something like that, I can see a big turnover with the Tursas being really effective. The Tursas doesn't require a lot of speed to access that turn. Here I'm throwing it from a standstill at maybe 60 or 70%, and it's still able to turn fairly reliably. So if you're a lower arm speed player and you're looking for a disc that you can reliably get to turn, the Tursas is going to be a fantastic disc for that slot. So that's what I think about the Tursas. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know what plastics you use it and what shots you throw it for, and let me know what other Westside discs I should review here on the channel. And I'll leave you with an excerpt from the Finnish national epic poem, the Kalevala, about the Tursas.
From the ocean rose a giant, mighty Tursas, tall and hardy, pressed compactly all the grasses that the maidens had been raking, when a fire within them kindles, and the flames shot up to heaven, till the windrows burned to ashes.